Yep. There we go. That's really better. I can see your comments and stuff. Let me log into. Evening, evening, evening. If I'm looking off, it's because I'm looking at my other monitor here. I'm kind of multitasking. I wonder if I can. Oh, I can. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna put myself in here right now. All right, so what's new with y'all? What's going on? I've got a couple of. Oh, I guess I said I can't do that. A couple of announcements. I want to get to. Alright, so we got Ladybug, we got Tiffany, we got Mind of Angel, Heart of Devil. Thank you guys for joining. Let me know what is on your mind. How's your week been? It's been crazy over here. I'm getting back into the group of things because you know I'm here in the Carolinas, in South Carolina, and we had a hurricane. It's more like a hurricane scare, at least from my part of the world. We really just got some rain and a lot of wind, but other than that, everything is good. So that being said, some of you guys have put in some orders. I'm going to go ahead and let you know now. Some of the orders have been delayed, both due to me and also due to the post office. Some of the roads and stuff have been closed. So there's going to be a delay on some of your orders. So I just wanted to let you guys know that now. Hey, good to see you guys in Atlanta and New Jersey is represented, Florida is represented. Very glad to have you guys on. I forgot that I had put a reminder on YouTube for last Thursday, and I completely forgot about it. So people were telling me they were actually in the chat waiting on me to join. They were there just chatting away, and I have to go back and see if I can find that chat. I need to go back and see if I can find that video. But guys, I was bunkered down. I had canceled everything. Thursday, I had clients and stuff scheduled. I canceled everything for the remainder of the week, pretty much. And I hunkered down, you know. So I apologize about that, but I'm glad to know that it works, right? At least, you know, it works. So that'll be a thing going forward. Probably after this video, I will go ahead and put another reminder into YouTube for next Thursday, right about the same time. That way you guys can go ahead and post your questions before I even get there, so I have an idea what I'm going to be answering. And if you need to catch the replay, you need to catch the recording, then you know that your question is going to be answered. So that's kind of how we do it in the group. So that's been going well. The Facebook group has been growing. I'm in there right now as we speak. So if you are in my Facebook group at the Hoodoo Bible Study, I have just been able to log into my group today. Normally I'm in there about Monday evening greeting everybody, but it's just been a very, very busy week. Getting caught up on spiritual work, getting caught up on orders, all that kind of good stuff. Getting clients, squared away. And then also my students. So a lot of them are actually in the in my city or in South Carolina. So making sure everybody was good down at the coast. I had some students from Somerville, some students from Charleston, some students from Georgetown. So just making sure that everybody is good down there was my chief priority. So that being said, if you've not already joined the Hoodoo Bible Study, you don't know what you're missing. It's incredible stuff. We have lives every week where we answer your questions live. We've got, I think, anywhere between 14 to 1,500 members currently. I am an admin, my personal assistant, and my mentee, Maite, is also a moderator. And my good friend, Sean, is also admin as well. So you've got some of the best minds in the field. And if I can't get to you fast enough, if Maite can't get to you fast enough, if Sean can't get to you fast enough, I also know that we have people in the group who are also proficient in Conjure. So they'll be sure to answer. It's not one of those groups where you drop a question, you got to wait 5 days or 5 weeks to get an answer. You wait an hour and you can have about 13 comments, I promise you. And we're growing. We're growing. I think we're like averaging anywhere from 20 to 30 people joining a week. So that's good stuff. So get in while the getting is good. I will say this before we get into what's going on, brother? Before we get into the show, if you do join, there are some questions, okay, that if you don't answer them, if you only answer some of them, or you get some really lame brain answer, you're not going to be accepted in. So if you have applied and it's been over a week, all right, Monday has come and gone, you have not been accepted, it's either because you didn't answer the questions, more than likely. All right, so, but you can definitely reapply. All right. So that being said, what is happening in your neck of the woods? How did you guys fare during the storm and the inclement weather? If you're here on the East Coast or down on the Southern Coast, let me know. I've been trying to get into your group, but I'm not sure if you're getting my emails. Need help. Let's see here. Well, when you say you're trying to get into the group, I mean, I'll leave a link under this video for how to get into the Facebook group. It's really simple. Okay. Is it if you haven't gotten it, it's probably because you didn't answer the 3 questions. Right. We do actually check those. I tell Maite, if they don't answer the 3 questions, just immediately remove them, just out of the blue. Yeah. All right. That being said, let me see if I can find this other video they've been telling me about. All right. Can you explain about the rain and the storm water again, please? All right. So that was a big question. We did a show. I Am Papa Lou did a show this past Sunday. It's funny because we had already scheduled to do a show Wednesday. We were gonna do it on Sunday, so I called him and I said we were talking about what we were gonna do the show about, and he said, "Man, we need to talk about this storm." He said, "We can't make a show out of that." I said, "Why can't we? Why can't we make a show out of the storm?" So we talked a lot about using rainwater, different natural sources of water, particularly during this storm. Rainwater, storm water, hurricane water, things like that. Waters are used most commonly when it comes to baths and washes. Okay, spiritual baths, spiritual washes. You can add them. Yeah, you can add them to baths. You can add them to your mop bucket, right? Let me do this like this. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me shout out. All right, Faith Barrett, Ladybug, Miss Venus 215, Super Sad, Tiffany, Ty. I just want to shout you guys out. Okay. And let me pop this out so I can do it like this. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the link to the Facebook group right here in the chat. So now, if you guys join, please be aware that you're not going to get accepted until Monday. We add new people in on Monday. That's something we do to keep it just easy. All right. So there's the link there. You guys can click that and be added to the group. All right. Fill out those 3 questions. All right. Rainwater. Depending on what the circumstances of the water is. So for example, storm water is very, very charged, right? It has the raw force of the storm. In most cases, it has thunder in it, has lightning in it. There may be strong winds in it. So it's definitely the virtue of force, of dynamism, right? To get things moving, to stir things up. If you think about a storm shakes things up a little bit. So if you've been encountering stagnancy, if you've been encountering a stubborn condition, or if you've not seen much movement, much momentum behind what you're doing, then incorporating the element of the storm will be beneficial, because you want something that's going to break up the monotony. It's going to move things around. It's going to reorganize things. But I'll also say this: as you know, storms can be very, very volatile. Storms can be very, very it can be very, very unpredictable. Okay, so you want to have that in mind when you're going to use storm water. Can you use that storm water for hexing? Yes, you can. Let's say, for example, you are making a fetish of the person. In other words, you're making like a doll or something of that person, some type of effigy. Then, as you know, part of the doll making process, or part of the fetish making process, is a baptism, right? To ensoul the fetish with that person's virtue, with that person's essence. So that water that you use, now sometimes it can be holy water or whatever, but you can substitute that for storm water or tornado water. You baptize them in that state, right? All right. So that before you even get started with any other work after that, you've already put them into a chaotic, unpredictable, a very volatile situation, right? Yeah, certainly you can. All right. You can take, you can make a small little fetish, a very small fetish, and get like a bowl, okay, and get a cork, all right, a large enough cork. And what you'll do, you'll suspend that fetish from that cork, so that the cork will float above the water, and they will be submerged under it. You can actually leave that there, light candles around it, and so on, and say your prayers or whatever on that. What happens if you use storm water in a sweetening jar, not lightning water, just normal storm water? Is it really a storm if there's not lightning in there? Existential questions for the conjurer, right? Is it still a storm if there's no lightning? what happens when you add storm water to a sweetening jar? It's hard to say because I didn't make the sweetening jar. So I don't know what your intentions were behind that sweetening jar, and I cannot say how that's going to interact with the storm water. But I will say the odds of it producing a wanted effect are probably very, very slim. Okay. It's probably very, very slim. So be mindful of that. I would not personally use storm water in a sweetening jar. Personally, that would not be my recommendation. Okay. Yeah, when it comes to storm water, when it comes to hurricane water, just to be very cautious with you guys, use that stuff under the direction of a skilled practitioner. Okay. Like I said, it is very volatile stuff. It can go either way, as we know. Some storms can come and just blow up a little bit of debris, and some can leave houses in disarray. So be mindful of that. All right, be mindful of that. Now, you can definitely use the power of the storm for blockbuster work when you need to. Yeah, you can definitely be messed up. She says, okay. Blockbuster work to move things out of your way, move things out of your path. You can combine that with other type of blockbuster herbs. Okay. Let me hide the chat over here. Look at it over here. All right. Okay. Sometimes just can stormwater be used for love work? If so, how could it be used? I understand it's mainly used for hexing. Can stormwater be used for love work? There are other waters that will probably get you a better result than storm water. You know, I know there's this thing in the spiritual community or like the hoodoo community where we tend to hear something new and then we fetishize that thing, right? And we're like what happened with the jars. I remember that when jars were a big thing. Everything was a jar, a sweetening jar. You know, that used to be the thing on Facebook. That used to be the thread. I'm gonna throw your ass in a jar. And then people just fetishize the jar thing. Like, okay, jars, wonderful. Work with it, add it, incorporate it into a larger body of work. Don't let that thing become your stickler. Okay. So in that respect, I would probably say rainwater, okay, may be a better alternative. I may say river water would be a better alternative in your love work. All right, especially a nice good spring rain. Why? Because those rains, you know, your spring showers bring what? Mayflowers. They're fertilizing. As you know, during the time of spring, animals are more fertile. They're more virile. They are, you know, they're out and about. They're making nests. So that talks about having a peaceful home. They are becoming couples. They're mating. So that time of year is very good to collect those types of water. So especially that May 1st rain is really, really good. It's very, very potent stuff, that May 1st rain. And I'll tell you a trick you can do. Collect that rain. All right, put it in a little mason jar and, you know, write on it May 1st rain or the 1st of May, whatever, 2019, and put it in a mason jar and put it in your freezer. And it'll keep forever. It's water. It'll freeze, and whenever you're ready to use it, you just thaw it out. All right? Okay. Can I soak a candle baptized in the person's name in storm water? Can I soak a candle baptized in the person's name in storm water? I think this is what my mind is doing. My mind is showing me having like a little bit of dyslexia. My mind is saying you're asking, or you should ask, or you should do, baptize the candle in storm water to hex them. That kind of just made my brain do something weird. All right. Usually rainwater washes everything away. Can it be used for cleansing? Yes, it can. And so can storm water. Again, if you have a very aggressive condition, if you guys are in my In my group, I made mention about making a spiritual bath for a client. I also mentioned this on the Working with the Spirit show that had a very stubborn cross condition. Okay. And the storm water, the hurricane was to break that stuff up, to break that stuff open, to move, all right, a very stubborn situation. We know that the hurricanes, they can pluck up trees right by their roots, okay? So, and also, as you said, it's very good for cleansing. You know, storms can cleanse or clean out an area, right? Okay. Hey. Beach water. Yeah, beach water is very good for cleansing. I would recommend beach water is a good alternative as well. And also it has that salt element to it. You know, salt has a natural cleansing property to it as well. Okay, so that's something to consider. All right, let me see what I missed up here. Let me go back up. Okay, everything is good in my neck of the woods. Good, good, good. Okay. Tiffany says she loves the group. We love you back. Ladybug says she loves the group. We love you back. Okay. Alright. Alright. Hey. Okay. How do you use storm water and sweetening jar? Not lightning water, just normal storm water. We talked about that. Just rain, talked about that. Talked about that. Alright. Can I ask a question related to that? Yeah, y'all can ask any of your conjure related questions. Love from Louisiana. Love right back at you, Louisiana. Alright. What could be used to stuff a doll? So one of the most common things you use to stuff a doll is Spanish moss, which we have an abundance of down here, particularly in the Carolinas and Charleston. It just grows off of trees. Mosses in general have this quality about them where they're like a net, they catch things, okay? So for example, Spanish moss is famous, Irish moss is famous. Now Irish moss is normally used to catch your money, all right? To hold on to it, to bring it towards you, kind of reel it in. Spanish moss is often used in kind of hexing work or binding work. It's to catch your enemies. It also has a type of mastery component in that it affects the mind. Okay, so it's very good with like confusion type work. So you would add things like, for example, Spanish moss and poppy seed to kind of catch the mind up. It'll produce effects like fogginess of thought. They won't be able to recall things very easily. It kind of gets their thoughts in a net, as it were, jumbled up. So you can use Spanish moss. You can use dirt. Okay, you can use dirt. Definitely you can use your herbs. You can use flowers. Okay, you can use raffia. You can use corn stalk, a husk. Okay, you can use cotton. All right, you can use cotton. You can use other forms of fabric. You can use definitely that's just as the padding, as it were. Okay, but certainly you want to add their personal artifacts, whether that's hair or semen or blood or whatever the case may be. You definitely want to add that in there. You want to have some type of artifact from that person. The more direct it is, the more potent it's going to be. In other words, the stronger your link in your chain will be. Okay, there is a hierarchy of personal artifacts, right? Chief among them being, for example, blood. Okay, things that are really the hierarchy works from inside the body and works its way out. Okay, so urine, semen, vaginal fluids, sexual fluids, saliva, blood, tears. Okay, and then you begin to work your way out: hair, skin, nails, clothing, unused clothing, used clothing, I should say, underwear, socks, t-shirt. Then you work your way in your outer garments. Then you start getting into things like your hat, your gloves, and so on. You work your way out from the body. Okay, you say you don't have any of that. Then do you have something that they gave you, something that's from them? For example, you know, the chewing gum trick. You give them a piece of chewing gum and you take the wrapper back from them, write their name on it, use it as a name paper, or their business card, or whatever. So you don't have any of that. Do you have their picture? Okay, you don't have any of that either. Do you have their name? So you're going to work your way out, all right, according to that hierarchy to make your chain stronger. So when you pull on it energetically, it'll yank them, right? So you definitely want to have a personal artifact in there. And then, of course, you also want to add the different magical artifacts that is going to feed your fetish, right? It's going to empower, as it were, the doll. In other words, making dolls is similar to making mojos in that the things you put in them, the artifacts you put in them, operate as organs to make that thing work. So if you want to confuse somebody, then you're going to add things, for example, like maybe black tobacco, black pepper, poppy seed, Spanish moss. If it's for love work, okay, then, you know, you want to get your flowers in there, your roses in there, okay. If it's for lust work, damian or horny goatweed, etc., etc. All right. All right, I put a container outside to collect rainwater. Is it okay for it to be mixed in one container as far as your waters? Yeah, so you can make like your own little formula, your own little potions, as it were. Okay, where you know, you mix different waters together. Okay. All right, I received a book called How to Make Servitors. I read it, and it seemed to be pretty simple to make your own spirit. What are your thoughts? Great question. Denise, chick, I don't even know why you playing. You need to be in my class, and you and I both know it. Wink, wink. Denise like to play. Like she didn't got a hand for this kind of work. Okay. Being here a whole worker. Anyhow, she know nothing but love here for her. All right. How to make servitors. There's a lot of books out there about servitors, and when you start studying more broader themes of magic, not just folk magic or conjure, you know, different traditions call it different things. Tulpas, thought forms, servitors, elementaries, fetches, familiars, etc. And I have a lot of thoughts about it. I don't even really even know where to start. I have a lot of thoughts about it. I think that a servitor is a created thing from you, and that has its level of efficacy. But the efficacy of that servitor is based upon the creator of it. All right. Versus if you receive a fetish, or if you receive a spirit, all right, into your spiritual court that may work as a familiar for you, one that was not created, as it were, from the mind of men. All right. It was a independent, pre-existing consciousness that, you know, is now working with you. All right. I have found more effective, more efficient results. Okay. Am I discounting servitors? No. Do they serve their purpose? Yes. They're very, very good. All right. When I did my studies of astrology, astrological magic, talismanic theory, ceremonial magic, and planetary magic, you guys know I like, you know, the stars and stuff like that, about how to use planetary talismans, astrological talismans, to draw down a particular energy or particular spirit and work with that spirit in a ceremonial magic sense. All right. So, yeah. All right. All right. So you use what she said. Okay, if you don't have personal concerns, just a pick and a date of birth, then you use what you got. All right. Hoodoo is in the, you know, if nothing else, it is practical. Use what you have. Okay. But because of that, you need to adjust. You need to adjust your expectations. Okay. Just know that the odds are less in your favor. All right, the least that you have to work with. All right, so be comfortable with that. Don't set yourself up to have expectations that won't be fulfilled, and you be disappointed about it. Can you use cemetery dirt to create a hexing doll? Yes. To simply put it, yes. You can buy dirt. All right. You can contract with the spirit or traffic with the spirit, as it were, of the cemetery of the dead to work with you. If you are proficient, you can work with, and I don't even want to open up this can of worms. I'm gonna say this just for perpetuity's sake, an archive. Work with in tranquilo, with in tranquil spirits, things of that nature. All right, from the grave. A piece of soap from a person's shoe, a pick of the person. Yes, as you know, the sole of the shoe, soul of the person, they have a connection there, right? The ashes from a burned picture, yes, you can use that. If you don't have all of that, can you use a pick? Yes, you use what you have. Use what you have. Okay. In love work, can you put pinheads in the calendar? The target is stubborn. In love work, yes. This is how I would do that. Obviously, make sure that your candle and your pins line up with your what you want to cause to happen. Okay. White, pink, red candles, things like that, and also those types of So if you're working with pins, then you might want them to have the same color, head on it. What I would do is take the pins and have them in oil. All right. In other words, rub the pins down the needle with like a love oil or whatever the case may be, and then pierce that candle with that. All right. I'll tell you a little trick too. So when you're you'll not really have things like right here on hand, but I do in this case because I was working with a client. So let's say you got yourself a little white candle here, okay, and you have written the person's name along here. So let me tell you a little trick, all right, that I learned. What I want to say, the soft spots, the hot points of the name are the vowels, and that's for free. So try that. Try sticking pins in the vowels. Just think about it. If you don't have a vowel is the heart of a word. If you don't have a vowel, you don't have a word. You can't pronounce it. It's impronounceable. That's basic English. What do you think about dark matter and dark energy? I think a lot. I think a lot about dark matter and dark energy. Let me make sure I'm understanding. Are we talking about dark matter, dark energy in the sense of physics? Or are we talking about dark matter, dark energy in the sense of like negative or like ill intention? Let me make sure I understand what you're talking about. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to go a whole different direction with that. Okay. So hold that. I'm actually have a video I'm about to release on justified work. All right. There's a lot of talk in Conjure about the work being justified. That's a big word in Conjure. Justified. Is your work justified, or whatever the case may be? And I'm going to talk about in my video what justified conjure is, what that concept is, what it isn't, and how to make sure that your work is justified, right? And you know what unjustified work looks like. So that kind of goes into leading into a deeper question about karma. I'm going to cover that in my video about karma and hoodoo, my opinion about it. Is there a karmic concept in conjure? I'll say that 3 times fast. If so, what is it? If not, why not? Is there that, you know, you do this, it's going to come back to you, you reap what you sow, the threefold law? I'm going to cover all of that kind of stuff. I think that's going to help you with your question about please tell me you have a book that you wrote or which I can get. No. I don't have a book. I have articles and information and videos and stuff. To manifest with dark matter and dark energy. Do you mind writing a little paragraph to explain what you mean? Because I want to make sure I'm answering your question as concise as possible, because I'm kind of over the place with the dark energy thing. I want to answer your question. Yeah, I'm actually got something in the works. I got something in the works. I promise you I did. I'm just not going to talk about it right now. Okay. Do you even? I'm going to answer it in my video. Y'all trying to get all the goodies now. Y'all don't understand foreplay, do you? You can't get it all right now. I'm teasing you a little bit. I'm building anticipation, expectation. Okay. Yeah. So all things are in a state of being unmanifest. All right. All things are on the brink of manifestation. All things are in darkness. In alchemy, we call it the nigrido stage, or the blackening stage, where all things are in darkness. In theology, we call it ex nihilo, or out of nothing, that all things proceed out of nothingness, that it is called, it is beckoned, it is summoned, it is conjured, if you will, out of the unformed, out of the unfashioned. And that everything that ever will be, the raw ingredients for it already exist. It's simply about rearranging them to make use of them. All right? All things are in a continual and perpetual raw state of existence. And with the proper know-how, you can weave nothingness into something. Okay? All things were once nothing, because all nothing is just no thing. It's not a thing, it's just substance, right? It's not a thing, it's just thought. right? So just because it's nothing doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means it's not a thing yet. It's just still a thought. Okay? Right. Great. That's always the big question for anyone who is doing this work. Yeah. Yeah. So there is this calling into being out of nothingness, right? Or no thingness. There you go. All right. I got a few more minutes with you guys. I'm getting blown up. People are sending me emails. I mean, you can't never show your face online. People just say, "Oh, Doc is up," you know. You start sending you everything, you know. All right. Great. Glad. Okay. Hello. Can stormwater be used for energy? I ate water for my coffee. Can you also touch on pendulum work for divining? Thank you. Pendulum. Yes. The Bible calls it a plumb line. A plumb line. The book of Amos talks about a pendulum. The Bible says that God set a plumb line in the midst of his people, and he stood upon the wall. So the pendulum, you know, the law of the pendulum, the Hermetic law, says that the measure of the pendulum to the left is the measure of the pendulum swing to the right. So pendulums are used in divination for a particular form of divination called dowsing, is what they were once known for. Dowsing. All right. In that you attune, all right, the energetic signature you want to pick up on, and the pendulum will begin to move like to a magnet in the direction of what you're looking for, right? So like they used to do with the they used to call it water witching, or the dowsing rods, right? Also used to go looking for wells, you know, underground water. I said underground water. All right, but also they can be used with a yes or no. Okay, a yes or no. You attune your pendulum, you speak to it, the spirit of that pendulum, the spirit of that plumb line. All right, it'll always be straight, and it'll give you direct answers without any ambiguity or confusion. All right, and you begin to test your pendulum. You begin to test your divination tool. Right, show me yes. Okay, and it'll so you know. And normally you want to have some other third option, like a maybe, or not right now, or I don't know, or ask later, whatever. All right, and begin to test it. Right, so you start off with things you already know the answer to. Right, does the pendulum confirm with the truth? All right, and so if it confirms the truth you already know, then also it will also confirm the truth of what you do not know. All right. Try using the pendulum. How do you actually know that it's not you moving it? You know, that's always the deep question about pendulums, right? Would it make a difference? What if I put it to you like this? What if I said that it was you moving it, but it was not the conscious you moving it? What if I was to say to you that it was the subconscious or the unconscious or the super unconscious you moving it? That part of you that is the connected to all information, and that as your conscious mind asks or inquires of the unconscious or the subconscious or the super unconscious, it simply sends a small, subtle, muscular spasm to confirm yes or no. That's a thought. That's a thought, right? Would it be any less you? Would it be any more you? Would you trust it any less? Would you trust it any less? Just things to consider, right? Existential questions to conjure. Could you explain belief about the Scorpio? I think you're saying retrograde. But I got 3 minutes. Yeah, Scorpio is a very powerful energy. It's one of my favorite forms of energy to work with. I'm going to start putting up, would y'all like to see more astrology stuff? If you do, I will put up some videos. I got tons of stuff. Astrology is one of my other loves, along with Conjure. As long as you're working it, it's working. Venus retrograde in Scorpio. Scorpio rules the genitals anatomically. All right. So Scorpio has 3 pillars, right? Scorpio rules death, power, and sex traditionally. All right. Scorpio is the gateway of the underworld, right? Because as you get past the genitals, there's no more life in the body. In other words, as you pass the genitals in the body, there are no major organs in the body, right? There's no life centers in the body. So, but Scorpio also deals with sex, intimacy, primal intimacy. It's also the energy of alchemy, of death and rebirth, right? It is the seat of the occult. All right. You've got Sagittarius, which is your philosophical, spiritual sign. You've got Pisces, your mystical, psychic sign. You've got Scorpio, your very, very occult sign. So when you have Venus retrograding at any time, Venus is going, when she retrogrades, all right, think about Matthew chapter 4. I think Luke chapter 4 as well, where Jesus is in the wilderness, okay, for 40 days and 40 nights. When you hear 40 days and 40 nights, those are allegories to Venus in retrograde, all right? And what happens? He's tested with his primal instincts, with his desires, his physical sensations. The first thing it says is, if you are the Son of God, command this stone to become bread. So it talks about our wanting, our needs, our primal needs, like sex, for example. When Venus is in retrograde, she revisits old love interests, old relationship situations. She revisits old partnerships. Particularly, she goes back to the last unanswered question. She goes back to the last open-ended relationship. She goes back to where there was not closure, and she investigates those parts again. So you may find that, you know, love interests or partnerships begin to show back up again. They did not get that put to rest. All right. And she does that to purge the soul of the old in full, so that when she goes direct, you can be open to receive, you know, all those good Venusian things like luxury, good food, socializing, good music. You know, Venus is about the good life. Okay, she's the lesser benefic, Jupiter being the greater benefic. All right. All right, now y'all getting, all right, I'm past my 1 minute mark. Let me tell you what. If you have questions about astrology, okay, I have a service I put up recently called an astrological diagnostic. And I think it's like an hour and 30 minutes of us on the phone. All right. I will look at your chart, give you a diagnostic of your chart, all right, and also how you can prepare, what you need to do coming up, okay? So for example, if you say, Doc, I got this dude I'm trying to bring back, or I got this chick I'm trying to bring back, how is this Venus retrograde Scorpio going to assist or hinder that? Or how can I work along with that? How can I maximize or capitalize off of that? Then get in my DM about that, all right? Y'all know I'm a conjurer, so magic and astrology for me always go hand in hand. I just got off the phone today with a client. She called me, I think maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, sometime before the storm, and she was working on a guy, opening up communication, bringing him back, and she was burning candles on him a lot. But she really wasn't getting what she wanted out of that. It really wasn't moving for her. So she contacted me, and in the consultation, He was a water sign. And so we gave, or I gave her, I should say, some suggestions on how to use the element of water in her conjure. And well, within 2 weeks, they had their, you know, their first sexual encounter. So, and she was very excited about that and very glad for that. So, if you want that kind of insight, you know, contact me and I'll get to you. Where can we DM you on? I'm going to put all my links in the video. All right. Before I get to that may be late tonight because I got other stuff I got to deal with. You guys know I'm on YouTube, so go to my YouTube About page. All of my links are on there. Where to contact me for an email, how to get my physical products, how to get my digital products, how to get into our Facebook group. Thank you, Spirit, for reminding me. I've been meaning to make an announcement. I promise you guys I will record my classes that I do and make some of that content available to you. I am pleased to announce August archive is up under my digital media. All right, we've got about 3 or 4 offerings there. We've got the notes, we've got the audio, we've got the video. They're about 3 to 4 hours long a piece, so it's a lot of content, okay, in there. I'll give you guys a quick rundown before I get out of here. Divine thing will work. Of what we talked about. Well, it doesn't want to work. Anyway, it's good stuff. All right, it's good stuff. I'm gonna let this thing load for a second. I'm supposed to be out of y'all face 4 minutes ago. Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, we've got 3 3 of them are up already. August 8th is up, August 15th is up, August 29th is up. They range between $10 to $75 a piece depending on what part of the information you want. All right. Let me take a look here. Right, so that August 8th, I think was that an open house? No, it wasn't open house. But that was a good one. We talked about how to activate the Psalms and the hidden names of God in the Psalm. How to use that to activate those Psalms. Y'all hear people say all the time, read the Psalms, pray the Psalms in your conjure, and you pray them and nothing happens because you don't know how to activate them. All right. Part 2 of that video, we talk about strategies of invincible magical warfare. If you are caught up in a spiritual war, how to come out victorious every single time. All right. And then part 3, we talked about how to obliterate hexes and jinxes from objects. All right. So that's all in. That's the first. That was August 8th. Okay. So that by itself is good stuff. Let's see. August 15th. All right. We talked about how to use Psalms 121 specifically. We talked about resins, mortar and pestle. All right, and other instruments you're going to need, tools you're going to need in this kind of work. But I'm going to tell you what you really want to get. We talked about, that was the class I gave them homework. They had to do their mojo bag homework. So they were given I gave them homework. The homework was they had to make 5 original mojo bags Had to be 5 ingredients each, and the ingredients could not repeat. So you get that you're going to get, let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You're going to get over 25 different mojo bag recipes. All right, and they were for money, protection, love, uncrossing, and mastery. We talked about how to use animal parts in your spiritual work. We talked about the difference between defensive protection and offensive protection. We talked about the 3 protocols for responding to a spiritual attack. And we also gave you how to make a turtle fetish for protection. And then August 29th, we talked about, we started off talking about common, you know, plants and so on in Conjure. All right. We talked about 3 things you must know about every herb or every plant you're going to use in Conjure. Things like Adam and Eve root covered, aloe vera covered, alum covered, angelica covered, arrowroot, basil, bat nut, beetroot, buckeye, calamus, catnip, coffee, clove. We covered it. All right. We also gave 2 additional mojo recipes. We also gave a marriage mojo recipe. We gave a recipe for luck drawing work. We also gave 3 elements needed for effective luck. We talked about the different characteristics of mastery spells and their herbs. We talked about the 6 types of mastery: commanding, compelling, control, influence, domination, and seduction. So it's good stuff. All right. So you're a genius. Thank you. So yeah. Yeah, you guys want to get that stuff. It's really good stuff, I promise. All right. I'm excited because I thought it was going to. I'm glad how it came out. So I'm excited about this. All right. Yeah, this is good stuff. It's good stuff. Now, let me say this to you. It's not all of it. In other words, I didn't record everything in that class because some things you had to be in there to get it. You just had to be there. All right. Some of the stuff in the video and in the audio is not in the notes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. A lot of stuff is not in the notes because I didn't write the notes. I'm warning you right now. My students wrote the notes. All right. So yeah. So your best if you want to get everything is to get the video. Let me put as a last minute thing that link in the chat room. All right, so that's what I got going. Let's see here. There we go. All right. Yeah, so I'm going to put that in there. And you guys can subscribe to my product feed. So whenever I release a new product or, you know, a new, they go up every month. At the end of every month, I upload them. You can get, here it is right here. Paste. All right. Now, if you aren't currently in my class, our next cycle opens up in October. We're going to take a break after October, and we'll have a new cycle open. The dynamics of the class will be a little bit different. But yeah. But just be best to take my it would just be best to take my class. Yes. All right. So there you guys go. That is my Gumroad, which is going to have all my digital products on there, and yeah, that's it. So yes, Wednesday. Oh, see, now you want to join now. So that's how you gotta tease them a little bit. You gotta get that foreplay in there, you know. Then you want to join. I'm joking with you, Denise. All right, let's see who we got in here. Denise, Emma, Faith, Miko, Mind of an Angel, Rose, B, Tiffany, Trevor, Vanessa, all of you, all the other people out there, I hold you all in the light of God. Are you gonna make any more attraction bath, salts? I don't know yet. Truth be told, I rarely go into making products, okay? What happens is either we have a class here, or I'm making some for a client, and you know, the tars can kind of be a little heavy-handed. And I make more than I need, and so I sell off the remaining so I can reuse my glass and reuse my shelf space and stuff, because stuff can get packed in here. All right, but hold you on the light of God. I hold you all in the light of God. I hold you all in the light of God that never fails. All right, I'll talk to you guys real soon.